you were coming to the convention?
Yeah. You know, my dad lives in Florida, so I promised I'd get him into the convention. We need every vote, right?
Yeah, we'll bring him to the green room. We'll do a little photo op.
Oh, that's very kind of you, sir. Thank you.
We've got reports of extreme weather anomalies building over Brazil, Mexico, Bucharest, and Belgrade.
There's over 1,000 storm warnings issued around the world. Satellite critical. Retrieval routine offline.
Chart a new course. Get as close to the nearest satellites going critical.
What are you trying to do?
We're going to launch the replacements, as many as we can, as fast as we can. We've had to retrieve the other satellites first, or the replacements will crash into them. They're programmed to arrive in the exact same destination.
And they'll knock out the infected satellites. Of course.
All crew report the station for real satellite replacement.
Away she goes.
Satellite replacement for Rio on its way.
Warning, satellite on collision course.
Disable the retro boosters. Don't let it slow down.
My name is Sri Amaradasan and I'm going to review about the video we just watched. So, this global network of satellites mysteriously malfunctions, catastrophic weather threatens humanity's very existence. So, rows of tornadoes rip up the landscape, tsunami-sized waves sweep through the cities and massive hailstones crash through car windows and flash frozen birds fall out of the sky. And that's what you can see in the trailer, right? So, the idea of tweaking weather from afar is not as far-fetched as it sounds actually. So, as BBC Future reported back in 2014, scientists have been on the case for years, albeit using planes rather than satellites. From 1962 to 1983 actually, the American government ran Project Storm Fury, which was an attempt to weaken tropical storms by flying aircraft. By flying aircraft into the storm and seeding it with silver iodide. Why silver iodide? Silver iodide is an inorganic compound used as an antiseptic. So the theory was that the silver iodide will cause the supercooled water from the storm to freeze, thereby disrupting the internal structure of the hurricane. Right. So this planet climate and weather patterns have changed due to human activities. Right. So it has increased the amount of carbon dioxide and also other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Right, so to give it an analogy, a simple analogy, so these gases act like a big blanket covering the earth. They help to keep the heat in. So without these gases, right, earth will be a giant ice ball. Right, so as these gases increase, it is as if this blanket is getting thicker and thicker, so holding in more heat. Right, so moving on, to sum up this review about this geostorm satellite, right? So controlling the weather remains unlikely, I would say, too costly and resource hungry to make it practical. People are putting research into very efficient lasers that can be put into the orbit, says Lynn Dettel, one of the scientists that is working on in the research regarding this geostorm satellite, actually, right? So she added that we may actually one day have this technology to control the weather, but it will be in thousands, not hundreds of years.
So let's speak about the history of satellites and the travel back to 1945. The English science fiction writer Clarke described in detail the possible use of communication satellites for mass communications. The first artificial satellite was Sputnik 1, launched by the Soviet Union on 4th of October 1957. Under the Sputnik 1 program, Sputnik 1 helped to identify the density of high atmospheric layers through the measurement of its orbital change and provided data on radio signal distribution. Sputnik 2 was launched on 3rd of November 1957 and carried the first living passenger into orbit, a dog named Laika. In June 1961, 3.5 years after the launch of Sputnik 1, the United States Space catalogued 115 Earth orbiting satellites. In 1965, Time magazine made some predictions about satellites of future impacts. These include fax machines, computer communication systems, live TV, and international phone calls. So currently, the largest artificial satellite ever is the International Space Station.
How a satellite works. A body moving in an orbit around a planet is called satellite. Moon is a natural satellite of the Earth. Artificial satellites are launched from Earth for communication purposes and also for weather monitoring. Artificial satellites also orbit around the Earth in their own orbit. After the artificial satellite is put into its orbit around the Earth, it starts to function. The signals are transferred to the satellite by using the translator or uplink, and then the satellite will transform the signal to the receiver or downlink. The time period for one complete orbital motion of an artificial satellite is equal to the time period of the Earth's one complete rotation. When an artificial satellite's orbit lies directly above the Earth equator with a period equal to the Earth's rotational period, then it is called geostationary orbit. The satellites put in this orbit are called geostationary satellites. The satellites which orbit through north-south poles are called polar satellites, and these polar satellites are used for weather monitoring.
Hello, I'm Johan. Now, I will discuss about how satellites are used in our daily life. There are many types of satellites, and each type of satellite has its own function. Firstly, it is communication satellite. Communication satellite is used for telephones, television, and the internet. Communication satellite creates a communication channel between the source transmitter and the receiver at different locations on the Earth. After that, it is navigation satellite. Navigation satellite used for providing position, navigation, or tracking something that is embedded with a receiver in it. Next, it is weather satellite. Weather satellite is used for monitoring weather or any climate change on the Earth. And finally, it is astronomical satellite. Astronomical satellite is used for observation of planets, galaxies, and any other outer space object. It can obtain a clear vision, which is not clouded by gases at the Earth's atmosphere. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Luman. Now I will explain about the advantage of satellite. The satellite has been widely used in the world nowadays, but the question here is what actually the advantage or the importance of satellite? There are so many advantages of satellite, but I will highlight some of it. Firstly, the satellite plays the vital role in global telecommunication system. With approximately 2,000 artificial satellites orbiting the Earth, it provides the world communication links between various points on Earth. Next, education is a critical component of economic growth and development. Satellite also helpful in distance learning. Satellite-linked internet services have played a tremendous role in distance learning through video conferencing, where participants are tutored remotely from the same quality of education. Satellite links maintain an important position as part of the backbone of the internet. Finally, satellite also has benefit to agricultural activities. In some developing countries, broadband access through satellite telephony has linked farmers in remote areas. A significant trend in South America, Asia, Brazil, and Australia has shown that more and more countries are increasing the emphasis on establishing networks to provide enhanced communication access on their farms, especially farmers working in partnership for export. These networks collect and collate data from satellite area sensing and surveillance. The data collected helps to detect environmental changes such as deforestation. So I can conclude here that the use of satellite had given many impacts that we can exactly imagine ourselves.